And so we thought that it'd be good to end with sort of the future, right? Sort of kind of focusing on where we go from here, focusing on youth. And so we're happy today to have a couple students with us, Elizabeth Park and Sarah Rakes. They're a part of the Environmental Sustainability Committee. And I know Elizabeth, as a part of that, she works on the Earthstock, 4 weeks to learn and grow. That project, which takes place annually in April, and that aims to educate students and community members about sustainability. And she'll also tell us a little bit about some of the other projects that Sarah's also involved with. The Environmental Leadership Committee as a part of that group as well. So we thought it'd be good for them to share a little bit about what's going on here at UNL and sort of maybe what the next generation's looking at. So I'll invite you both up here and we'll get you all mic'd up.
Okay, so just a little bit about our backgrounds. Yeah. I'm a sophomore environmental studies major here at UNL. Last year, I took part in the environmental leadership program and also worked on Earthstock. And this year, I'm an intern at the South of Downtown Community Development Organization, where I work on things such as litter cleanups, Earth Day activities at local elementary schools, and just basically sustainable development here in Lincoln. This year, I'm a part of the Environmental Sustainability Committee, and I'm a co-director of Earthstock along with Kyle Kakatori. Pass it on to Sarah, and she'll talk a little bit about what ESC is and what she's doing.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm currently a sophomore economics and mathematics double major with a minor in natural resource economics. So I do a few things across campus. Right now I'm currently employed with the Center for Civic Engagement, which is a department at UNL that kind of works to connect students to service opportunities. So at the Center for Civic Engagement, I head our financial literacy initiative, and I'm currently organizing our May service study experience, which is going to be called Who Owns the Land? It's going to take place in Nebraska, so we're going to go around, do some flood relief, and we are going to learn about national parks and indigenous rights and who owns the land. So right now, I currently serve as the co-chair for the Environmental Leadership Program, and I'm also a member of the Environmental Sustainability Committee. So the Environmental Sustainability Committee is basically just a committee under student government, which is called ASUN at UNL. So it was created in 2011 to improve campus sustainability. We have different projects that we do every year. We typically have the members of the committee of ESC split up into different groups. That way we can focus on our projects more in depth. So right now we have 12 members and we have 4 different projects. So Greeks Go Green is an initiative to help fraternities and sororities implement more or be more sustainable in their practices. So a lot of the fraternities and sororities on campus are starting to implement composting, utilize recycling better. They're having a competition between houses in order to be more sustainable. So the Reusables Committee is basically getting reusable containers into the training table, which is the athletics dining hall on campus. Environmental Leadership Program is kind of like the child of ESC, so it's kind of like the freshman and sophomore version of ESC. It's formed to help teach people coming into college for the first time about sustainability efforts on campus and to help them get more experience in that sense. And then Earthstock will be explained a little bit later by Elizabeth, but that's kind of like a month-long Earth Day basically in April. So the Environmental Leadership Program, going a little bit more in depth into that, we also, like ESC, we split up into different committees, and we have different projects that we work towards. So the 3 that we're working towards this year are the paper towel reduction effort, which is basically in every single one of the hundreds of bathrooms across campus, there's paper towel dispensers, like 1 to 4, and people do not tend to reduce their paper towels that they use. So we are creating little stickers that have kind of, don't kill the environment on them, and we're going to put those on the paper towel dispensers. So hopefully that can make somewhat of a difference. We are also sponsoring an end-of-the-year furniture drive, one of the dormitories on campus, where we are going to collect materials that people would otherwise throw away, like lamps, couches, chairs, things that they just don't want to lug with them back home. We're going to collect all that and send it to Bridges to Hope, which is a local nonprofit. And then finally, our electronics recycling drive. We're still in the midst of planning, but it will take place in April with Earthstock, and it's basically any UNL faculty, staff, or students will be able to recycle their electronics for free, which typically that would cost money, which is unfortunate, but we were able to work with a company who is providing the electronics recycling and get it to be free for UNL faculty, students, and staff. But yeah, so now I'm going to pass it on to Elizabeth to talk more about Earthstock.
Okay, so like Sarah said, Earthstock is basically a month-long celebration of the Earth. It's basically a month-long Earth Day. It started in 2014 with the aim at increasing awareness for environmental activism and sustainability through students and basically the Lincoln community. This project is completely student-driven and funded solely by the Green Fund and other sponsors, such as the Daughtry Water for Food Institute and the Chancellor's Office. We offer multiple different events to appeal to a wide variety of audiences. And I'm going to plug this event really hard because it's coming up in April. And I'd like to get a wide variety and a wide diverse group because I think events like this really start valuable conversations. So we have 4 main events for Earthstock this year. There's the Earthstock Block Party, a clothing swap-a-rama, a documentary screening and panel, and a music and arts festival. The block party will be held on April 1st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the City Union in the Union Ballroom, and it'll feature booths with local environmental issues, screen-printed t-shirts, and information on Earthstock events. In the past, we've held this at the end of the Earthstock, but we decided last year that having this kind of be the kickoff was a good idea, as it kind of gets people excited, it gets them free t-shirts, free things to wear around campus and kind of increase the visibility of the event. The clothing swap-a-rama is held by Sustain this year, which is a separate sustainability organization on campus. It's basically you bring in your clothes and you can swap them out for other clothes that are present. I think they wanted to kind of decrease the fast fashion that we so frequently see on college campuses, kind of decrease that waste that's generated through buying clothes that you don't necessarily want to keep for a long period of time. And then our third event, which is honestly my favorite event, is the documentary and panel. And this will be held on Thursday, April 16th from 6:30 to 9 at the Ross. This is a completely free event, and it's open to the public. This year we'll be showing Wasted, the story of food waste, and we'll have a panel after the screening. Wasted is basically chronicling food waste from the time that it's grown or picked to the time that it basically enters the earth. It stars and was produced by Anthony Bourdain, and I think that this will really generate the conversation on food security and food waste, not just on a global scale, but in our own communities and at UNL as a whole. And our last event isn't necessarily, the most science-driven. It's a music and arts festival. It's the only event where you have to pay to get in, but all of the proceeds go to Produce from the Heart, which is a local nonprofit dedicated to getting produce and fresh food to communities in Lincoln that don't necessarily have access to it. There'll be performances from local student artists and local student bands. And in addition to that $5 donation, there'll be booths and bins for non-perishable food items that'll benefit Huskers helping Huskers. And then kind of to wrap up, I wanted to talk a little bit about why these organizations are important. So Earthstock and ELP kind of create this creative, interactive space that we can talk about issues of sustainability and the environment in a way that kind of appeals to, larger groups of people. There's something for everyone and something that will get people excited about these issues and get them passionate about these issues. In addition, it benefits these local causes such as Huskers Helping Huskers and Produce from the Heart, and engages that wide audience. And it teaches us really valuable skills, so when we go out into the workforce, we know how to talk about these issues in a productive way and know how to get people excited and passionate about things that they need to be excited and passionate about. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you for having us. Thank you for listening.